Hello, this is Jamie from Shamrock Girl World, and today I'm going to show you how to grow tamarinds from seed. I actually grew a tamarind from seed about 4 years ago, and now it has grown into an impressive, beautiful tree, and I'm really excited of my little plant baby. I've actually tried for several years to grow them. I've had so many failures. I've started a few where they've died later, but I recently discovered a new little method on treating the seeds, and today I'll show you how it's done. So first you'll need is fresh tamarind seeds. You can get them from the pods, or you can get them online from a nursery that sells seeds. The seeds themselves are actually viable for up to a year, so you don't have to worry about them losing their viability over time, but the fresher the better. Next you'll need is well-draining soil. I usually use a peat moss mixture, or you can use regular potting soil or seed starting mixture. Just make sure that it's able to drain well. Next you'll need is a pot or a container. I actually like to use these 3-ounce solo cups. I find that they help keep the seed warm and they retain the moisture better, but it can be as big as a pot to about that small, so make sure that the container has drainage holes as well. And you'll also need a plastic bag to control the moisture in the pot. And lastly, the most important material for this method is nail clippers or scissors. I find that nail clippers are actually better to use, and I'll show you how to use them in a little bit. So I'll show you how to remove the seeds from the tamarind pod. All you need to do is crack off the brown hard shell of the pod. If you intend to eat it, you can devein it. You can pull off the ends and pull the hard, thick vein off the pulp. And it can also make removing the seed easier. And then you can remove the seed from the pod. Just take your fingers and pry it open. And the seed will be exposed under a thin, edible skin. When selecting the seeds, make sure to use large, round, and plump seeds. Make sure to avoid ones that have sharp corners, and don't use any seeds that are shriveled or thin. The thicker, the rounder, the better. So the next step you'll do is trim the hard shell of the seed. Using nail clippers or scissors, trim the edges of the seed. Trim as far as you can or until you get to the white of the inside of the seed. And also make sure to trim the bottom portion of the seed so the root can come out. Another option you can do after you trim the seed is put the clipped seed in warm water overnight. This will cause the shell to slough off and loosen, and it also helps in germination. Now you can plant your trimmed seed. All you have to do is plant the seed about 1 inch below the soil. Then you can lightly water it and make sure that the water drains. And make sure that the seed is still covered under the soil. Cover the container with a plastic bag to control the moisture level. You can place the container in a warm, sunny location with indirect sunlight, because what the seed will need first is warmth, and once it sprouts, you can move it to the sunlight. Or, as I did, you can put the container on a heating pad. So now you can wait for germination. Germination usually takes between 2 to 4 weeks. You can actually see the seed peeking from the soil as early as 7 days. Just make sure to keep the seed in the container warm and keep it moist but not wet. I usually water it every other day, and I water it with a spray bottle so I'm not drenching it. And as time goes by, make sure to remove any moldy soil and adjust the plastic bag to have better ventilation. Over time, the seedling will stand up and raise out of the soil, and by this time you can remove the plastic bag. If your container was originally small, after about a month or two you can transplant it to a deeper, larger container. And always make sure that the pot is deeper than the previous one. And as your tamarind grows, just make sure to keep it warm in an indirect sunny place. And always protect your seedling from cold weather. As tamarind is a tropical plant, it will not tolerate freezing temperatures, so try to keep it inside, warm, and away from frost or cold snaps. Over time, you may actually notice your little tamarind seedling opening up its leaves at daytime and then closing them at night. That's one thing I love about the tamarind. So as you can see, if you continue raising your tamarind seedling, it will grow into an impressive, beautiful tamarind tree. It will eventually grow into a very large, tall, evergreen tree. And going with my experience with my tamarind tree, I believe different climates are better suited for tamarind growth, but it is very much possible to grow a tamarind tree indoors or in a controlled environment where it mimics its natural habitat. And whether you're doing this for fun like I did, or if you want to be able to have a fruiting tamarind tree yourself, it's very easy to start with seed. So make sure to leave a comment down below if you thought this video was interesting, and make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos about exotic fruits, growing exotic fruits, gardening, nature crafts, and more. Thank you.